Next 3 days were a masterclass in calculated restraint. I stayed in the hotel room, subsisting on bad coffee and the adrenaline coursing through my veins. Jason's lawyer friend, David, was a shark in a tailored suit. He reviewed the audio recording, the contract, the police report, and the extensive documentation for the equipment in my study. The audio recording is tricky, David said over a video call, adjusting his glasses. In a two-party consent state, using it in court can be complicated. However, as leverage with the police to establish criminal intent, specifically conspiracy to commit grand larceny, it's gold. What about the hidden camera in the study? I asked, my eyes glued to the live feed on my laptop. Since I had checked into the hotel, I had been monitoring the feed from the smoke detector camera. It was motion activated. For the first 2 days, they had avoided the study, likely spooked by my warning. But greed is a powerful motivator. If they open that cabinet and remove those items, the value exceeds the threshold for a felony, David confirmed. At that point, it ceases to be a civil dispute over a domestic service contract. It becomes a major crime scene, and Mr. Anderson? I asked, the name tasting like ash in my mouth. He's aiding and abetting. He's using his position at the agency to facilitate the theft. We can bring down the entire company if we play this right. I spent the rest of the day watching the feed. I visited my cat, who was slowly recovering under the vet's care. The tiny weak meow she gave me when I stroked her head solidified my resolve. They had neglected my pet, violated my sanctuary, and mocked my boundaries. They were going to pay. On the evening of the 4th day, the motion alert on my laptop chimed. I clicked over to the feed. My heart hammered against my ribs. The study door opened. Carter and Mia walked in. Carter was holding a heavy-duty screwdriver and a small crowbar. Are you sure about this? Mia whispered, glancing nervously over her shoulder. She said she'd check. She's bluffing. Carter scoffed, jamming the screwdriver into the lock of the black cabinet. She's been quiet for 3 days. Anderson said she's probably looking for a new apartment. She doesn't have the stomach for a fight. It took him less than 2 minutes to force the lock. The cabinet doors swung open, revealing the padded shelves holding the camera lenses, the 2 luxury watches, and the designer handbag. Mia's eyes widened. She reached out and grabbed the handbag, running her hands over the leather. This has to be worth at least $5 grand. I have a buyer lined up who'll give us $3 in cash tonight. Carter snatched the 2 watches, shoving them into his pockets. He then carefully picked up the most expensive lens, a piece of glass worth almost $8,000. We'll take these for now, Carter said, a greedy smirk twisting his face. Leave the rest so it doesn't look completely empty if she somehow manages to get back in. They turned and walked out of the study, the door clicking shut behind them. I hit the record button, saving the file to 3 different cloud servers. Then, I picked up my phone and dialed Officer Miller's direct line. Officer Miller, this is Eleanor Vance. From the domestic dispute a few nights ago, Ms. Vance, he sounded tired. I told you, if they are refusing to leave, you need to file an eviction notice through the civil courts. I'm not calling about an eviction, I said, my voice airily calm. I'm calling to report a felony in progress. I have live video footage of Carter and Mia actively burglarizing my locked study. They just removed over $15,000 worth of insured items. There was a sharp silence on the other end of the line. The dynamic had just shifted entirely. I have the serial numbers, the invoices, and the footage is time-stamped, I continued. They are currently in possession of stolen property within my residence. I am requesting an immediate police response. Stay where you are, Ms. Vance. Officer Miller said, his tone instantly professional and urgent. We are dispatching units now. I'll meet you in the lobby of my building in 10 minutes, I replied. I grabbed my coat and my laptop. The endgame had begun. When I walked into the grand lobby of my apartment complex, Officer Miller was already there with 3 other officers. Miss